image is seared into the minds of moviegoers around the world.
Two titans of the Cretaceous, standing face to face.
A flash of lightning illuminates the rain-slicked skin of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Opposite him stands a challenger, larger, sharper, and seemingly more lethal. The Giganotosaurus.
In the climax of Hollywood's Dinosaur saga, these two giants clash in a battle for supremacy.
A fight that ends with the old king dethroned. It is a spectacular sequence. It is thrilling.
And from a paleontological standpoint, it is absolutely impossible.
Welcome to the ultimate reality check.
Today, we are stripping away the movie magic, the genetic splicing, and the cinematic exaggeration. To answer the question that has sparked playground debates and scientific arguments alike.
In a true clash of the titans, who was the real king?
The celebrity superstar, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Or the southern giant, Giganotosaurus carolinii.
To find the answer, we have to travel back in time, separate the continents, and look deep into the fossil record. First, let us address the elephant in the room, or rather, the multi-ton theropod in the room.
The fight you saw on screen could never have happened. Not because of territory, but because of time and space.
T-Rex and Giganotosaurus were separated by 30 million years and thousands of miles of ocean.
Giganotosaurus roamed the badlands of what is now Argentina about 97 million years ago.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't stomp onto the scene in North America until 6 to 8 million years ago.
Right at the very end of the dinosaur age.
They were strangers, separated by an evolutionary gulf wider than the Atlantic Ocean.
But let's play the game. Let's bend the laws of time.
If we were to teleport these two apex predators into the same arena, who actually holds the advantage? To figure that out, we need to look at the tail of the tape.
Let's start with the reigning champion, the T-Rex.
For over a century, this animal has been the gold standard of prehistoric power.
A fully grown adult measured up to 40 feet long and weighed between 8 and 10 tons.
But the T-Rex wasn't just big, it was built like a biological tank.
Its skeleton was thick and robust, designed to absorb massive impact.
It had a barrel chest and a neck thick with muscle. This was an animal built for brawling.
Now, enter the challenger, Giganotosaurus.
When its bones were first discovered in Patagonia in the early 90s, it sent shockwaves through the scientific community.
It was huge. Estimates suggest it could reach 43, maybe even 45 feet in length.
It was longer than the T-Rex and potentially taller.
If you judge a king solely by whoever casts the longest shadow, the Giganotosaurus takes the crown.
However, size isn't just about length, it's about mass.
Recent digital modeling suggests that while Giga was longer, T-Rex was heavier.
The Tyrannosaur was a heavyweight boxer, compact, dense, and powerful.
Giganotosaurus was more like a kickboxer, leaner, perhaps more agile, but lighter in build.
This difference in physique dictates their fighting style.
The most critical weapon in this duel is the jaw. This is where the difference between the two becomes a matter of life and death.
The T-Rex possessed what is widely considered the strongest bite force of any land animal in history.
We are talking about 12,000 pounds of pressure. That is enough to pulverize bone.
Its teeth weren't sharp knives. They were railroad spikes.
Pixelated bananas made of solid enamel, designed to crush through armor and bone marrow.
A bite from a T-Rex wasn't a flesh wound. It was a structural catastrophe.
Contrast that with the Giganotosaurus.
Its skull was enormous, longer than a human is tall, but it was built differently.
It was narrower, more blade-like.
Inside that jaw were teeth that resembled serrated steak knives, flat, curved, and incredibly sharp.
The Giganotosaurus didn't crush, it sliced.
Its bite was designed to inflict massive trauma to soft tissue, causing its prey to bleed out.
It was a surgical strike compared to the T-Rex's sledgehammer.
So how does this translate to our hypothetical deathmatch?
If the Giganotosaurus strikes first, it uses its speed.
It is believed to be faster, capable of running up to 30 miles per hour.
Whereas the bulkier T-Rex might have topped out at 20.
The Giganotosaurus would try to flank, delivering slashing bites to the T-Rex's flanks or legs.
Trying to sever muscles and arteries.
It fights a war of attrition, using its length and agility to stay out of range of those crushing jaws.
But the T-Rex has a secret weapon that the movies often ignore. Its brain.
The Tyrannosaurus had an exceptionally large brain for a dinosaur.
With enlarged olfactory bulbs for smell and, crucially, binocular vision.
The T-Rex could see in depth, just like a hawk or a human. And a Virgil.
It could judge distance perfectly.
The Giganotosaurus, with its eyes on the sides of its narrow skull, had poorer depth perception.
In a close-quarters brawl, the T-Rex can track its opponent's movements with terrifying precision.
If the T-Rex lands a single bite, the fight is over.
It doesn't need to slash, it just needs to clamp down.
One bite to the neck of the Giganotosaurus would crush the windpipe and snap the vertebrae.
One bite to the leg would shatter the femur.
The T-Rex was evolved to hunt armored prey, like Triceratops and Ankylosaurus.
Dealing with another theropod, even one as big as Giga, was well within its capability.
However, we must respect the Giganotosauran's lifestyle. It lived in a world of giants, hunting the colossal Argentinosaurus.
Some paleontologists theorize that gigas hunted in packs, or at least in coordinated mobs.
If our hypothetical scenario involves a gang of Giganotosaurus against a solitary T-Rex,
the odds shift dramatically.
The T-Rex might be the king of the one-on-one.
But the Giganotosaurus might have been the master of coordinated warfare.
Yet, looking at the solitary duel, the biomechanics favor the tyrant.
The T-Rex was a later model of evolution, a more advanced killing machine.
It had millions of years of evolutionary refinement that the Giganotosaurus didn't have.
It had the bulk to withstand a tackle, the vision to aim its strike, and the bite to end it instantly.
The movies want us to root for the new guy, the bigger, scarier monster.
They depicted the Giganotosaurus as a villain that could toss the T-Rex around like a rag doll.
If being the longest makes you the king, the crown goes to the south.
But if being the most powerful, the most heavily armed,
and the most physiologically advanced predator to ever walk the earth makes you the king,
then the throne remains in the north. The T-Rex didn't need to be the longest to be the deadliest.
In the end, comparing them is like comparing a sniper rifle to a shotgun.
Both are lethal, both are apex, and both were perfect for their specific environments.
But if they met in that rainy, cinematic arena,
bet on the one that can crush bone.
The king is dead? Hardly. Long live the king.
But physics tells a different story. The Giganotosaurus was formidable, a sleek, slicing terror of the south.
But the Tyrannosaurus Rex was a brute force of nature. An evolutionary masterpiece of destruction. So, who is the real king?